Good morning, everyone. How are you all? Hope everyone is fine. Okay, good to hear. Yes, I'm also good. Also doing great. So, students, I was supposed to ask you that C division, many people are facing the issues in HackerRank, right? For coding section, you need to link into HackerRank. So, you guys are facing some issues, if I'm not wrong. So see, what is the issue that you guys are facing? We have sorted it. So the issue is from your end only. Okay, because yesterday I have talked to Sir also regarding this, but we are so sure that the issues are regarding the students only. Like I have sent some messages on the group also. Okay, so this process should be correct and accurate if you follow the same PDF, and if students follow each and every step, they can update the HackerRank profile in Talentio account. Okay, what you have to do, you have to just update your HackerRank profile in the Talentio. Okay, HackerRank profile in Talentio account, you have to update it. If they got any errors, that means they missed something. If you are getting any errors, so you are missing something. Okay, so just check the process, follow the process very accurately. Fine, because if you are missing out something, it's definitely some process has been missed by yourself, because before you were able to log in and now suddenly you are not able to log in. So this is the this is problem from your end. So you need to sort out this, guys. Okay, so try sorting it out, try updating the account, because rest of the division people are able to give the test. They updated their profiles and they are able to give the test. So take help of your friends and try doing it combinedly. Try try to do it. Okay, because we have sorted out the problem from our end, whatever the problem or issues we're facing. So all those problems are sorted yesterday itself. Fine, everyone. Okay, so let's have a quick recap, like what does we learned yesterday. What did we learn yesterday? Okay, so we have done up to insertion and deletion operation. So basically, in your class also, we have started with now introductions to operations performed on the data structures, right? Okay, fine. So now I'll share the screen. Let me know whether the screen is visible or not. Is the screen visible? Fine. So we have completed the insertion and deletion. Now we will see what is the next operation. Okay, what is the second operation? That deletion was the second. Now we will see what is the third operation. So third one is sorting. Okay, what is the third operation? Third operation is the sorting operation. So now I guess you know what is sorting, because we have seen some examples of sorting in algorithms. Remember merge sort, bubble sort, we have seen the algorithms for this merge sorting and bubble sorting? Remember or not? Yes or no? Yes. So, what are we supposed to do here is we should know about the sorting first. Okay. So, what is the sorting? What is the meaning of sorting? I have told you the meaning when we were solving the example. So, let me know what is sorting. Let me check whether you remember everything or not. What is sorting, guys? To arrange in order, arrange data. Okay. Solving. Monica is saying solving. Monica, solving will not be the correct. To arrange. Okay, we have to arrange it in any sort of order. Okay, got lot many answers and most of them are correct also. So basically, what is this sorting we will see? This sorting is nothing but arranging the data in increasing or decreasing order or in some logical order. Okay, whatever, suppose the elements are unsorted, they are not in proper order, they are not in logical order, so it will be very difficult for us to arrange the data, organize the data in proper manner. Okay, so to make it simple, there are certain operations which we need to perform. So this sorting is one of the operations which we are going to perform on the data. So what is this operation? It is just arranging the data in the proper order so that it will be very organized. Okay, the data will be in very organized manner. So to make data organized, we will be using this operation known as sorting. Okay, either you can see there, it will depend the order of the series, or what we call logic behind the series. It will depend upon the problem. So you just have to read the problem statement properly. You just have to you just have to focus on the problem statement, what test cases are given, and then you decide what sort of sorting process will help you to solve this problem. Okay, then pick up any sorting process like merge sort, selection sort, bubble sort, whatever it is. Okay, so this is what the sorting means. Sorting means arranging the data in increasing or decreasing order, or arrange it in some logical order. Okay, or arrange it in some of the logical order. So this is the sorting method. Now we will see what are the types of sorting. So there are total three types of sorting in the data structures. Okay, so which are these three types of sorting? The first one will be merge sort, the second one will be selection sort, third one will be bubble sort. Okay, what are the three types? Merge, selection, bubble. Keep the things in mind. The question can be asked for 1 mark. What are the types of sorting? So you should be able to tell what are the types of sorting. So the types of sorting will be merge, selection, and bubble. Clear? Understood up to here? What is sorting? Okay, good then. So now we will see one by one what is merge sort, what is selection sort, and what is bubble sort. Okay, so first one we will see what is the merge sort. Okay, so basically what happens in merge sort? In merge sort, we do divide it into equal halves. What we do? We divide this into the two equal halves. Okay, So this is an unsorted sequence. Okay, this is not the sorted array. So now what I have to do, I have to divide this array into two equal halves, and then we have to combine it. So basically this merge sort is a sorting technique which is based on the divide and conquer technique. On which technique it is dependent? It is dependent on the divide and then conquer. Divide and conquer means to divide and then win. So like here you just see, first we have divided it into different parts, then we merged it once again. Once the elements got sorted out, then we merged all the elements again. Okay. So this is all about the merge sort. We have to sort the elements and then combine the elements. Okay. Merge means combining. So it's very simple, guys. Suppose this is the array. The array size is 5. Okay. You can, sorry, the array size is 8. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. What is the array size? 8. So now what will be the two halves of it? 4 elements on the right side, 4 elements on left side. Okay, this is the right side, this is the left side. So divide this into two equal halves. Now see, after dividing it into two equal halves, again divide it into two parts. Okay, again divide it into two parts. Now after dividing it into two parts, apply some logic. See the sequence of series, like you know how to solve the sequences, right? How you will solve, you have learned this in 7th standard itself. How to arrange in ascending order, how to arrange in descending order. Then if it is a Fibonacci series, then how to calculate the Fibonacci series. These are some mathematical calculations which you have to learn. Okay, and arrange the numbers in some proper manner. Once you have arranged all the numbers, like you cannot arrange all the 8 numbers in once, therefore we have divided it, and then we have seen what is the difference between the number, and then we got divided it into some proper order. So this will be the sequence. So what is the meaning of merge sort? Basically, the in merge sort, what are we going to do? Firstly, we will divide the array into two equal halves, and then at the end we can combine whole array once again. Okay, then after the sorted array can be combined. So this merge sort will be a sorting technique which is based upon the divide and conquer technique with worst case time complexity. What is the time complexity? We have seen time complexity for merge sort in the table when we were learning the algorithm. We have seen it is O n log n. Okay, so it is one of the most respected algorithms. For this merge sort with algorithm is used, that is O n log n. So it is the most important and respected algorithm which is being used. Okay, so merge sort will first divides the array into two equal halves and then combines them in a sorted manner. See, then it has combined them in some sort of manner. Clear what we do in merge sort? Only keep process in mind. What you have to do, then you can do it according to you. Okay, but keep the process in mind. What first you will do? First you will divide it into two parts, then it will become 4 4. Now here it's become 4, so now again divide it into two parts, so it will become 2 2 2 2. Okay, two elements in one. So like this, now you can think about combining all the elements as you will arrange them in some sort of order. Okay, fine. Everybody is cleared with the merge sort, guys? Yes or no? Okay. So now we will see what is selection sort. Okay. So in selection sort, what you have to do, basically you have to select one element. Okay. What you will do, you will select one element. So selection sort is a simple sorting algorithm. The smallest element will be selected from the unsorted array. Whatever will be the unsorted array given to you, from that unsorted array, you will select one smallest element. Okay, from the unsorted array and swap with leftmost element. With which element you will swap it? You will swap it with the leftmost element. So now if this leftmost element is 20, and suppose I have to swap this 12 with this 20. So what I will do to swap this 12 with 20? The minimum value at index will be 1 here. Okay, so your initial value can start with the 0, and the minimum value index for this arrays, there will be index, so index for this will be 1. Okay, so just so you will swap with the leftmost element. Okay, then select the next element, then you can swap with the another leftmost element, then you can select with the next element and again swap with the leftmost element. So like this you will be swapping, so your whole series will get swapped. You can see it is starting from 2. Here it is starting, it gets started from 2, then 12, then 10, then 15, then 20. Okay, so now this 2 is the smallest element. What is this 2? This 2 will be the smallest element. Now you have to swap this 2 with this 20. Okay, because this 20 is the leftmost element. Okay, so if you want to swap this element with 20, so first you should compare the other elements. Okay, so just compare the other elements here and then you can swap this element from 2 to 20. Okay, see, I have selected the smallest element and then I have swapped this element. So this is what? This is the 2. Okay, and then I have swapped the elements. So this is the swapping method. What you will do in selection sort? In selection sort, you will select the smallest element. Okay, the smallest element is selected from the unsorted array and swapped with the leftmost element. Where you will swap it? You will swap it with the leftmost element. So what is the left element? Left element is 20. Okay, so you just need to swap with the leftmost element and that element becomes a part of the sorted array. So now this 20 will become the part of the sorted array. Okay, so this process will be continuous moving unsorted array boundary by boundary. Okay, one element to right. So you will be one element to right. You have to compare one element to the right and then you can swap. So like this, see, at the end process, you have swapped. You swap this 2 and this 20. So now you can see the order is also proper. 2, 12, 10, 15, 20. Okay, so order is also in proper manner. So in this way you can sort the element. Clear with the selection sort? Okay, if you are clear with the selection sort, now we will see what is this bubble sorting. Okay, now let's see what is the bubble sorting. So basically for bubble sorting now, you have to follow some steps. There are certain steps for the bubble sorting. So you need to follow all these steps for it. Okay, give me 1 minute. Okay, so now what we need to see? We need to see what is the bubble sort. Okay, so see here. Here you can see in the example, here are certain steps to be followed. So what exactly we do in the bubble sort is, firstly, there will be some unsorted array given to you. Okay, this is the unsorted array which is not in the proper order. So now we need to sort this array into the proper order. So how we will sort it? First, you need to, in step number 1, what you will do in step number 1, you will compare the two elements. It should be from left to right. Okay, not from right to left. You should start comparing the elements from left to right. Okay, so just take this step 1, compare both the elements. Now after comparing, swap both the elements. Okay, compare element number 1 and element number 2 and then swap both the elements. So it will become 3 and 5. Now what is the step number 2? Step number 2 will be compare both the elements. Okay, in step number 2 you only need to compare both the elements. So do not swap it. Okay, no need to swap in this second step. So these are the fixed steps. You need to follow the same steps. Okay, so now don't swap the elements. Okay, now what is the step number 3? In step number 3 you will compare element number 3 and element number 4. After comparison is done, then you will swap the element. Once you swap the element, you will get to the output. Okay, so output will be 4 8. Now you need to compare this fourth element and fifth element. Once the comparison done, again swap it. Okay, and if you swap it, you will get the output. So this is your output. Now repeat step 1 to 5 until no more swaps are required. Now you need to repeat the steps 1 to 5 until the process you will not require swapping. But now do you require the swapping? Just check here. This 5 and 4, is it in proper order? If this series was in ascending order, if we have to arrange it in some sort of ascending order or something like that, so then this is not the right. Then we should repeat the process once again for this 4 and 5. Okay, so some sort of process should be there, and until you require no swaps, you should be repeating the process. Okay, you should be repeating the steps again. So for getting the proper order. Okay, so basically what do we do exactly in bubble sort? This bubble sort will be the basic algorithm for arranging a string of numbers. Okay, why we will be using it? For arranging the string of the numbers or other elements in the correct order. Okay, the method works by examining each set of adjacent elements. Now what are we doing? We are examining, we are comparing each set of adjacent numbers. Okay, so the method will be working by examining each set of adjacent elements in the string. From where? From left to right. Okay, you cannot change the order. Sorry. Okay. You cannot change the order, guys. It should start from left to right only. Okay, not from the right to left. Okay, so from left to right you will do switching their positions if they are out of the order. If they are out of the order, we will switch their positions. Clear? So this is the method for the bubble sort. Is the bubble sort method clear to everyone? Is it difficult? Do you find this topic difficult? Anyone of you? No, right? It's not difficult. It's mathematical, but it's not difficult. In fact, it's quite interesting because there is a lot of logic in it. It's not just theoretical. Okay, so it's quite impressive. Okay. So fine. If the sorting is understood, we will move to the next slide. Okay, that is next operation, searching. So now what is the searching in data structures? Searching means what? Basically to search means what? We go and find out. Okay. Now suppose I want to find out some clothes. Suppose I want to find out some data from dictionary. If I want to find out my old stuffs. So I'll just go and find out the location where I kept them. Okay. In the same way, when we need to find out the location of the data, what we need to find? We need to find out the location of the data in the data structures. At that time, we will be using the operation searching. Which operation will be using? We'll be using this operation searching when we need to find out the data which is situated at which location in the data structures. Okay. So what is the definition for searching? Finding the location of data in data structure will be known as searching. Clear? What will be the definition for searching? Finding the location of data in data structures will be known as the searching. Okay. So the definition is clear to everyone. Okay, good then. So there are two types of searching. Which are the two types of searching? Linear searching and binary searching. Okay, there are basically two types of searching. Linear searching, binary searching. So now we will see what is the linear searching and what is binary searching. Okay. So you can see in this example, we have to search for 3. Okay, what we have to do? We have to search for the 3. So how are we going to search it? Okay, so basically what happens in linear search, it is very simple search algorithm. Okay, this linear search will be very simple search algorithm. So in this type of search, a sequential search is made all over the items. You need to search for all over the items. Okay, sequentially we'll go one by one, adjacent to each other, and search for one by one all items. Okay, so a sequential search is made over all items one by one. So every item is checked. If it is moving from one by one all items, then each and every item will be checked. Okay. Until the time you get what you want. Suppose you want to here, you want the location for 3. Okay. So until you will not get the 3, it will go on searching until the end of the data. Okay. It will go on searching. So every item is checked, and if a match is found, then that particular item is returned. If the match will be found, now suppose here we want to search for 3. Now here we, after 3 processes, we got the match. Now match is found. Now we will return this value. Okay, then that element or item will be returned. Okay, so otherwise the search will continue till the end of the data collection. If we cannot find this 3 here, if this 3 was not here and 3 was here, so it will keep continuing until the end of the data collection. So how much of data is there, it will search up to whole data. Okay, we will search for the whole data until the end of the data collection. So search will be kept in continue till the end of the data collection. So clear? Now see here, example. Suppose now this is one of the array. Now what we have to do, we have to search for 3. Now what we will do, we have to search for this 3 value. So now how we will search? Now this is starting from 5. It should start from left to right only, guys. Huh? Keep the things in mind. Every time use the same logic. Search it from left to right, not from right to left, or else you will not get the proper output. If you do this small mistakes now, you will not get the outputs, and then you will say, ma'am, not getting the outputs. So keep these small things in mind. Every time start from left only. Okay. So now see. Let's check for this 5 first. So is 5 equal to 3? So you will get 5 equal to 3? No. Next. Move to next. So now we move to 4. Now is 4 equal to 3? So it is also no. Move to next. Now is 3 equal to 3? So finally we got the position of 3. Okay, finally we got the location of 3. So we will get yes, we found it. Okay, what we'll get? We'll get yes, found it. Okay, if we didn't found it here, it will went up to 1. Okay, but now as we found it, we got the location, so the program is ended here. Okay, so we'll get the output. So this is the linear search. This is the method in linear search. This process will be followed for the linear search. Understood, everyone? See, I'm repeating it twice, thrice, how many times you want, but this process should be understood, because in whole data structure, you know, from chapter number 1 to chapter number 5, you will require all of these processes again and again. So these processes should be very clear and very fit into your mind. Therefore, I'm repeating the same thing again and again. So please guys, focus. Yeah, if you have to search for 4, then you can search it for 4. This is the problem. This is given in problem that search for 3. If in problem it was given that search for 4, then you have to search for 4, Devraj. You can search for any number in the element, not only for 3. You can search even for 1. If in the problem statement it was given search for 1, then you can search for 1, any element, not only for 3. Got it? Okay. Fine. So this was the linear search. Okay, now we will see what is the binary search. Okay, now let's see what are the binary search. So look into the example, you will at least understand some points here. What is the binary search? So see, what exactly we do in binary search, basically, this binary search will be taking the targeted value. One target value will be given. Okay, now we have to select one middle value. What we have to do, we have to select a middle value from this array. Okay, so binary search is the fast search algorithm with runtime complexity of O log n. So now you know from where to select this complexities. You can select it from the table. Okay, so the search algorithm works on the principle of this divide and conquer. This binary search will also depend upon the divide and conquer, because you can see here also we are dividing it. We are looking for the middle term. Okay, so we have divided it basically. So for this algorithm to work properly, the data collection should be in the sorted form. So now if the data is not in the sorted form, this algorithm is not going to work for it. Okay, this data search will not work for it. Therefore, it should be in some sorted form. So now this binary search looks for a particular item by comparing the middlemost element item of the collection. So what we have to do? We have to look for a particular item. Particular item means a target value. In problem statement, you will get the target value. Suppose I have to find the 7 in this array. So this 7 will be the targeted value. Okay, if in question or if in problem statement it's given that you have to search for 7. So this 7 will be the targeted value. So now what I have to do, I have to select the middle element. Okay. So binary search looks for a particular item by comparing the middlemost element of the collection. So what will be the middle element of this collection? So we need to choose first the middle element. And if the match occurs, then the index of item is returned. So whatever will be the index of item, suppose the index of item here for 8 is 4. So this 4 will be returned. Okay, so if the middle item is greater than the item, now you can see what is the target value, 7, and what is the middle value, we have selected middle value 8. Okay, so the targeted value is less than the middle value. Okay, and this middle item will be greater than the targeted value. So then the item is searched in the subarray to the left of the middle item. Okay, then we will search it from the left of the middle item, as our targeted value is less and middle value is greater. So definitely it will be in the left side only. So what we will do, we will just discard this right side. We will not look for the right side. We will look for the element in the left side. So you will easily get the targeted element in the left side. Okay, keep this logic in mind. If the middle value is greater than the targeted value, then the item is searched in the left of the middle item. Okay, then you will search for the item in the left of the middle. Okay, middle item. Otherwise, the item is searched from, if it is less than middle value, then we will search it for right side. Okay, otherwise the item is searched for right side of the middle item. Okay, this process continues on the subarray as well until the size of the subarray reduces to 0. Until the time the size reduces it to 0, it will work on the same process. Cleared? Not difficult at all. Only see the logic. That is middle value. If the middle value is greater than the targeted value, So see, here middle value is greater than the targeted value. So you have to search all the items in the left side. If it is not greater, then you have to search it in the right side. Simple. Cleared what is binary search? Hope you are clear. It's not difficult. Okay, good then. So now let's move to the fifth operation in the data structures. Now we have seen linear and binary also. You know what is searching also. Please keep all these things in mind. Every time you have to write down the program using such kind of operations, because these are the only used operations in the data structures. Okay. Now we will see what is the next operation, that is merging. So now guys, tell me what is the meaning of merging. You can tell me the meaning in English, any normal English dictionary meaning I want of merging. So what is the meaning of merging? Mixing, combining. Okay. Yes. So to merge means we have to mix the data. We have to combine the data. Okay. So that will be known as the merging of the data. So basically what do we merge? We merge the files. We will merge the different files. So what are the files in this data structure? We are going to merge all the two different files, and that will be known as the merging. Okay. So the combining the data of two different sorted files. What are we going to combine? We are going to combine the data for two different sorted files into a single sorted file. Now see, there are two different sorted files. Now if I combine sorted files, then it will become one sorted file. Okay, now see, here what are the, see this example. In this example, it is about the cities, countries, and names. Okay, so this is suppose file number 1. This is suppose file number 2. Now I added both the files. Once I will add the both the files, we will get the output in the combined manner. Okay, you will just merge the file and both files will become only one file. Now this was separate file, this was separate file, but now this is the combined file. Okay, so this combination of files will be known as the merging, because you're merging both the data into both the data files into one file. Okay, so combining the data of two different sorted files into a single sorted file will be known as the merging. Clear? Example is cleared, this one. Now let's see the next example. Okay, so suppose this is -1, so you can take it as subtraction. This is -1, and now this is 1, 1, 1, so this you can take positive value, so addition. Okay, now these are the two different files. Now I have to combine the subtractions and additions. Okay, what I have to do, I have to combine the subtractions and additions file. So how I can combine them? I can use the function merge. Okay, that this is subtraction dot merge additions. Okay, so this subtractions will merge addition to them. So how we will merge them? We will just put these values here. We'll just combine the files. So if I combine, you can see here -1, 1, 1, 1, and -1. So this got merged with each other. Okay, now this became the single file. First it were the two different files. Now it became the single files by using the merge function. Clear? Hope you are clear with it. It's very simple, not difficult at all. Understood, everyone? Okay, Monica didn't understood. I need to explain once again. Okay, fine. See, Monica, these are the negative values. Okay, these are the minus subtractions. Okay, therefore it is subtraction. So minus one, this is one file. Now this is another file, that is 111. Okay, now what I have to do, I have to add these two files. I have to make one file only. Okay, we are not changing the content. We are not changing the content or information in the data structures. We are just adding both the files together. Okay, now see here, no information is been changed, only we have added it. These were the separate files. Now what we did, we just added it. In the same way here also, this is minus one separate, and this 111 separate. So what did we do, I just added this addition values, this 111 values in this file only. So see how I added 111. So I have used a function merge for additions. So I have merged addition functions to this subtractions. That is subtraction dot merge additions. Okay, so you will get the merged file, combined file. Okay. Okay, good. So let's take the attendance, guys. Traversing is left. So traversing we will see tomorrow. Now only one operation left that we can see tomorrow. And now you just give the attendance. Sai, take the attendance. Sai is there, na? Take the attendance, Sai. Total number of participants are 53, Sai. So Sai, did we got all 53? 46 only. Okay, fine. Let's check it out. Okay, so at D3, J1, D3, J1, then H0, D6, F1, now did we got it? Now how many Sai? 49 only. Okay. F1 should be added. F1, G1, D3, J1, G4, H0, H0, F8. You should add F8, H4, D6, F1. These many people have only given. Where are rest? If you will not give the attendance, you will not get the attendance. So I add D8. D8. Still 2-3 members have not given. Who has not given? Every day we have to tell you what is this. At the end of the day, you will come to me and you will ask me the same thing. Like, ma'am, we didn't got the attendance. Then whose fault is it? If you're not getting the attendance, is it my fault or is it yours fault? Because you're not writing the numbers here. How can we take the attendance if you're not writing the numbers? You should write down the numbers now. Okay, fine. So how many have given? We'll give them the attendance sign. Add G3 also. G3. Okay then. Okay then, everybody give the feedbacks regularly. You have to give the feedbacks. And second thing, assessments also compulsory. And you should be active in the group from 5 to 7 because I'm active at that time. So try giving the test at that time. Okay, between 5 to 7. So your difficulties will get solved and also I can help you out. Clear? Everyone? Everything clear? Tomorrow we will be dealing with the same topic mostly, and this is our last topic in the first unit. Okay, traversing is left. Once we complete with the traversing, we will see 1 or 2 examples of traversing, and then we will move to the second unit. So in this way, we will be completing our first unit very soon. Okay, mostly tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we will complete our, mostly tomorrow only, we will complete our first unit. So you should be ready for the important questions and start studying with the questions. Okay, because yesterday only when we completed for the introduction of data structures, I have given you the important questions. So in the same way, tomorrow also I will give you some important questions for introduction of for operations on data structures. So just take those and start studying. Okay, so bye everyone, take care. We'll send you link tomorrow at the same time and we'll meet tomorrow. Okay, so bye, take care.